Do you know, most data analysts spend nearly 70 to 80% of the time in data cleaning even before starting the analysis. In today's video, I'll show you how to efficiently clean the data by using Power Query Editor in Power BI. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Data Analytics Academy, and this is Bhanu. Today, I'll walk you through some of the important steps in data cleaning, such as removing unwanted columns, handling duplicate records, how to handle null values, fixing the data types, and how to use data profiling features in Power BI. By the end of this video, you will be able to transform your raw data into clean and structured format, which is ready for analysis and reporting. Without further delay, let's get started. So now let me show you how to load the data set in Power Query Editor. To do that, click on Transform Data. Again, Transform Data. Now we are on Power Query Editor. On your left hand side, you can see your table name, which is order. And here in the middle, you have your data preview. I have several columns such as order ID, customer name, product category, product, and so many. And here on your right hand side, we have applied step section. And this is very important area in Power Query because whatever changes we make to our data set during data cleaning process will get automatically recorded under applied steps. So basically this allows us to easily track what changes we have been made, and if not needed, we can even remove a step. Now that we have understand the interface, let's get started with the data cleaning process. In any data set, the first thing we usually do is removing unnecessary columns, because by doing this, we reduce the size of the data, and which helps the reports to refresh faster, and also it improves the overall performance of the report. Let me show you how to delete the columns. But before deleting the columns, we should know what are the columns which are needed for analysis and what are the columns that are not needed for analysis, right? So here, since I'm dealing with order data, order ID is needed, customer name, this is also needed, product category is needed, product is needed, order date is needed, sales amount is needed, region is needed. As you can see, this temp code created by and extra information, these columns I can remove. Let me show you how to remove these columns. So here, as I want to remove these three columns, let me show you how to delete multiple columns at once. First, select the first column, then press your shift key and then right arrow. So here, three columns got selected at once, and right click. And if you see here, remove columns and remove other columns. Let me explain you the difference. So if I click on remove columns, the selected columns, temp code created by and extra information will get deleted. If I click on remove other columns, whatever the columns that I haven't selected will get deleted. So now I'll click on remove columns. So now we are able to remove the unnecessary columns. As you can see under applied steps, right? The changes we have made here got recorded. And if you want to undo the changes, right, you can simply click on this cross mark. So as you clicked on cross mark, now temp code created by an extra information columns are back in our data set. But for now, I'm going to remove it. Remove columns. So now let us move on to our next step in data cleaning process, which is to make sure that we have assigned the correct data type for each column. Let me start with the order ID column. Here, to check the data type, go to transform tab. I'm already under transform tab. Here, go to data type section. Here you can see that the data type has been set to any. So now I'm expecting numerical data type for order ID column. So I'm going to change it to whole number. Similarly, I'm going to make the changes for all other columns. For customer name, I'm expecting text format. I'm going to change it to text. Similarly, for product category, text. And even for product, I'm going to change it to text. For order date, I'm going to change it to date because I'm expecting it in date format. And sales amount. So now, if you observe sales amount column carefully, right, most of the rows contain currency symbol before the value. So if you directly try to convert a column to whole number, it will throw you an error. Let me show you that. So try to convert the data type. Go to data type, click on whole number. So you are getting error because just because of the existence of that currency symbol, you are getting the error. So before converting the data type, you need to remove the currency symbol and then try converting the data type. So let me bring it back to the original state, that is text. replace current. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on replace values. Here what I want to replace, I want to replace currency symbol with nothing. So click on OK. So now you can see that in sales amount columns, rows doesn't have currency symbol anymore. So now you can convert. Click on data type and now I want it in whole number format. Okay. Similarly for region also, click on data type and click on text format. Now let us move on to our third step in data cleaning process, which is to remove the duplicate records. So in our data set, I want order ID column should have only unique values. So but before removing duplicates, I want you to take a look at the bottom left hand side. So here you can see that you have total 7 number of columns and 42 rows. So now let's try removing the duplicate records. Click on order ID, right click and then remove duplicates. Now if you check here again, from 42, now you have 40 rows, which means duplicate records have been removed. Now let us move on to our next step, which is to handle null or blank values. So let me click on customer name column. Here you can see that I have null values, right? So these null values either needs to be removed or replaced. To remove the null values, you simply need to click on the filter drop down. And here, if you want to remove, simply uncheck null value and click on OK. Here, you have successfully removed the null values. Now let us see how to replace null with an alternative value. To do that, simply right click on customer name column and then replace values. Values to find. What do I want to find? Null value. What do you want to replace it with? Here I want to, since the customer name is unknown, I want to name it as unknown. Let me write unknown and click on OK. Now as you can see, let me again click on filter drop down. You can see that, right? Null values have been now replaced with unknown value. Hope it's understood. So now let us see how to use trim function in data cleaning. I want you to take a closer look at the customer name column. Here, I want to filter out the records by taking any customer name. Let me click on filter icon. And here I have Chris Wilson, John Smith, Chris Wilson. So let me try to filter out the records by using John Smith. So here you can see that, right? I have two John Smith. So why is that? Let me click on OK. As you notice here, right? In the first row, there is a space before the value, wherein the remaining rows, there is no space. Even though all the customers are same, Power BI is identifying them as two different values. So what happens if you are getting the data like this? So let's say you want to calculate how many orders have been placed by a customer called John Smith. In that case, if you put any bar chart or any other charts, what happens? You're going to get two records. This will lead to an incorrect analysis, right? To fix that, you're going to use trim function. Let me click on select all and let me click on OK. To use trim function, go to transform tab and click on format. Here, click on trim. So after trimming the test, again I'm going to see for John Smith how many records my Power BI is identifying. Click on filter icon and here again John Smith. You can see, right? John Smith. Let me type the complete name. John Smith. So I have only one record now. I hope it helps. Now let us move on to our next concept, which is to split the column. As you can see here in customer name column, I have both first name and last name together. What if I want these values in a separate column? How to do that? Let me click on customer name column, right click, and here you can see an option called split column, and here you have an option called by delimiter. Delimiter is nothing but a character which separates the values. In our case, a space is the delimiter because first value is getting separated from second value by space. So let me go to split column and by delimiter, and here it has taken space as a delimiter and each occurrences of the delimiter automatically it has taken, and click none and OK. Now you can see that we have first name in separate column and last name in separate column. Let me change the column names. I'm going to name it as first name and this one I'm going to name it as last name. Okay. Now we are done with the data cleaning process. However, there is a small challenge because today we have worked with a small data set. So it was easier for us to manually scan through each column and figure out the issues and fix it. So what if someday you're working with larger data set? In that case, if you have to manually scan through each column and fix it, would be time consuming and difficult, right? So don't worry, to overcome this challenge, Power Query Editor has a feature called data profiling options. So to enable this, you need to go to View tab. Let me click on View. And here you can see we have three options. One is column quality, column distribution, and column profile. Let me check column quality. Let me check this box and see. So here you can see, right, the moment I clicked on column quality, I'm getting some kind of percentage. So here it is giving me the percentage of valid value, error value, and percentage of empty value. So instantly, just by looking at the column, you can tell, hey, in this column, I have some incorrect and missing value, which I need to take care of, right? So let me uncheck column quality and check column profile. So column profile for the selected column, here I have selected order ID. It is going to give me the detailed information. So as you can see, I have distinct value, unique value. I can tell minimum, maximum, and average. Let me uncheck column profile and let me check column distribution. So this column distribution tells me how many unique and distinct value I have for each column. I hope it is clear, right? That's all for today. I hope you are clear on data cleaning. If you find this video useful, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next one.